Hey folks, it's Alicia and welcome back to my channel, and today you're going to find out why I'm wearing my "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You a New Yorker" t-shirt. Well folks, today's project share is really thanks to Craftingwithliller and Anne, otherwise known as Craftykimchi, and they are both fellow New Yorkers. So I wore my special New York t-shirt in honor of them. Folks, I have waited for months to do a swap like I'm doing currently with Miss Danielle, and I mean months. I have been pleasantly watching and saving all of Craftykimchi's Willow Lane tutorials and project shares, well, project shares mostly, because I have been dying to make them for someone. But these are seriously ornate projects, and so I wasn't going to make it for someone who didn't like love Maggie Holmes, because it's a whole lot of work and layering. Miss Anne is so detailed, and she is like super careful. She'll like build up her rosettes and embellishments and then walk away and then see what else they need and then come back. She spends a lot of time crafting everything very carefully, which is why her work is gorgeous. Alicia is never going to be that woman, but I am so inspired by her and by Craftingwithliller, both of them, and their Maggie Holmes, certain Maggie Holmes projects, that I really had to use them as the inspiration for my swap with Danielle. So, you know, when I first started, I would only project share something that was completely finished because I was afraid people would think I was a crafty crapper. Crappy crafter. Wow, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? In other words, I was afraid that people would look at it if I didn't show it when in its finished form and think like she doesn't know what she's doing. Today I'm a very different person. Like, I'm like, okay, you know what? I did that for my swap with Carmen. I only sneak peeked stuff that was completely done. I'm not doing that anymore. And I stopped doing that a long ago. I think it's not good for the person to see the completely finished product. I want them to have a surprise when they look at it. But I also want them to be able to look at things along the way and get excited in the same way I am about what they're making. So I've come up with an in-between. Today I'm going to show you a partially finished product. It's called bindermail, folks. Bindermail. And I'm super excited about this. So I first learned about bindermail from Craftingwithliller, and then later from Craftykimchi, because they both created one. And this is sort of like what would happen if Craftykimchi and Craftingwithliller had a crafting baby. I've used a combined technique of both of them with a little share of crane thrown in there just for good merit. So in the back here, I have done the shredding method. Believe it or not, even though I covered it all up, that is all shredded paper underneath. All this layering is shredded paper, and that is the Crane tearing method, and it's from each of the Maggie Holmes collections. As sort of a hint to Danielle that this project is going to be a world tour of Maggie Holmes. That's what it is. It's a world tour of Maggie Holmes, which I know she's going to love. And after I did that, I varnished that up. I sat and varnished that up for paper crafting, using paper crafting varnish, because I know the binders, when we use them a lot, start to peel apart. You can already see a little bit of lift here, folks, and that's with a lot of care already. So I wanted to make sure none of this would lift. And when you're doing that tearing method, that can happen. So after I varnished that, I laid down all this ephemera, layered it up. Now, I can't put any of this on a foam dot, or I can't lift it up on that corrugated cardboard or on a fan, because, folks, on top of this goes either a vellum envelope shaker pocket or a clear plastic shaker pocket. And we know Miss Danielle loves shakers. So the whole point is it has to lay flat on top of this because the shaker, excuse me, is laid on top. And so I can't have any foam dots or lifting up. So, you know, essentially what happens is one of two things. Either you create it in a way that the person can take the shaker pocket off and use the sequins mix, or you create it so that it's permanently adhered and it's your choice. But either way, you can't put a foam dot because of that. These award embellishments, which I'm also making for Miss Danielle, I have triple thicked up, so they are super sturdy. I made sure to do that because we know I am not like Miss Kimchi, Craftykimchi, and I am not a delicate creator. And so I needed to triple thick them to make sure that they're super durable, because one of my only complaints about Maggie Holmes is that for me the paper isn't thick enough. That and that the pads are not double-sided. Those are my two complaints. I love the quirky patterns. I love Willow Lane so much. So much. I know some people thought this was scary. I think it's so whimsical. So I have been dying to do this for someone. And Danielle loves Maggie Holmes as much as I do. So I'm super excited to make this for her. So when I'm done, folks, there will be a shaker pocket on the front. There will be trim all along here. There's a really nice dangle with a lobster clasp, Miss Danielle, that hangs all the way down. Her name will be on here. But what goes inside of bindermail, you ask? Well, in this bindermail, there are going to be envelopes. And they're all tucked inside. They're all decorated on the exterior. And on the interior are either ephemera I've made for Miss Danielle, or ephemera that I cut apart, or ephemera that I purchased for her. So this is going to be a goodie binder full of Maggie Holmes goodness from all of her collections. And then Danielle can take them out and use this binder for whatever she wants. So it's a super cool project. You might want to think about making this. I'm linking both Craftingwithliller and Craftykimchi's amazing project shares below, so you can take a look at their finished product. Also, as always, Lily makes everything doable. So you may want to follow her for this because it's really useful. And I also learn loads. Just watch Anne's videos a couple of times and you'll catch on to what she's doing because she explains everything in a very detailed way. She may not give a tutorial, folks, but Anne is excellent at taking you through her projects so that you know what she's done and you can learn from that. And as for these award embellishments, I suspect that I've gone the Craftykimchi way for these, Miss Danielle. And I'm sure if you take a look at her channel, you'll know exactly what that means. All right, folks, that was a mini project share. I hope that, Danielle, that you love this. When it's finished, it's going to be quite a bit chunkier, full of ephemera. It's going to have lots of baubles and dangles and all sorts of interesting things. But I hope this is really useful and adds a little joy to your life, right? A little happiness. All right, folks, that's it for now. I'm going to link those other binder mails below. Check them out. One is made by Craftingwithliller, the other by Craftykimchi, who I have told you is, I think, one of the best willow lane makers we have. All right, folks, that's it for now. Check in later. Bye-bye.